the annual FPA conference does have a bit of a different vibe, because you're right, it is a huge, it's their biggest event. It's in a convention center. It's got that whole different like wow factor. The general session speakers are in a stadium kind of theater environment, so it does have that really big wow factor. It's a big exhibit hall. There's a lot of activity, which is great because you're seeing all the different facets of how strong and how big the industry is. So you're really seeing all the different, if you go into the exhibit hall, there's technology vendors, there's compliance vendors. One of the greatest things I loved this year was there was an entire hallway of exhibits by all the schools that are now offering financial planning programs. So just to even see that, when you're a financial planner, you may not remember, you might have heard of 1 or 2 programs, but when you see, there's actually like 12 booths that are all universities that have financial planning programs. It's really gratifying to see that.
I'll tell you, one of the things I find most fascinating about the FPA Experience Conference is actually walking the exhibit hall. Because to me, Experience is truly the biggest show in financial planning that we have. I mean, it's the big experience that draws everyone. I get such a feeling for just kind of the state of the industry as a whole and where we are and where the focus is and what's going on by going into the exhibit hall and just walking all the rows and seeing what are the products, what are the providers, what are the vendors, what are the practice management tools, what are the investment funds, what are the insurance offerings, who's making offerings to financial planners. I get such a feel for kind of what's going on, getting a glimpse of what's cutting edge. You get a real clear feeling for what the trends are.
So the first time you walk into an exhibit hall, it's probably overwhelming because you just can't quite believe how much is in there. And over the years, I've learned to take it chunk very slowly. But again, when we talk about having great conversations, a lot of those are with the sponsors. And as an opportunity, I don't think there's a better one, frankly, for the people who serve this industry to have those casual conversations about what's going on, not only because they're talking about what's new in their firms and what they're up to and what they want to show, but this is like it's the biggest focus group you'll ever have as a sponsor. It gives you direct feedback. You'll hear what's working, what's not, what's on people's mind. And I think it accepts that the people who service this industry, who supply, they are as valid a part of this group as anyone, and we need their input. So I love it. I mean, sometimes I think I'm never going to make it all the way through, but I try as much as I can to talk with as many people as possible.
Well, the exhibit hall is always amazing when you get in there. I mean, there are so many booths around there, and the people are so nice. I remember my first visits to some of those exhibit halls at the annual meeting, and it's how I learned how to build my practice. I mean, I stood there and people one-on-one taught me how their tools worked and how they could be an advantage to me. And it's been the highlight of the event for years. That's where you learn how to do what we're doing.